Hi students, last class we have discussed about the linear queue. Today we are going to discuss about the circular queue. What is meant by a circular queue is in the name itself. Circular means it will be in the circular structure but not in a straight structure. Whereas we have seen that linear queue is represented in a straight structure. Whereas the circular queue is represented in a circular form where the last position will again points to the first position is called as the circular queue. Whereas here in this circular queue, once the queue is full, what will happen is rare again it will points to the first element of the queue and insertion can be done at this position, and the queue does not contain any element at this position, it will be called as the queue overflow. If any item is there at that position, what will happen is queue is overflow. Otherwise, what we can do is we can insert the element at the front position. And see this example. Here we have taken the non-empty circular queue which is having the size of 4, and see the changes how the see the changes and how it will reflect on the values of front and the rear. See here we are inserting the values. We have inserted the values as 10, 20 and 30. Now the front position is 0 and the rear position is 2. And another element, if we want to insert 40, where the 40 will be inserted is the insertion will be done always at the rear position, so that now the front equal to 0 and rear equal to 3. And see the next one, if you want to again insert the element 50, here the size that we have declared as 4 and already we have inserted all the 4 elements, so that the queue is overflow. And how to check that the queue is overflow in this circular queue is, see this condition here, the condition front equal to rear plus 1 modulo division n. If we use this formula, automatically what will happen is here if we get the remainder value as 0, that is the front equal to 0 means automatically what will happen, queue is overflow. That means already we have inserted all the 4 elements. We can't able to insert the new element, so that queue is overflow. And deletion, whenever we are performing the deletion operation, the deletion will be done at the front position. Whenever the element has been deleted, that is the 10 has been deleted, automatically the front value will be incremented by 1 and front will be 1 and rear equal to 3. And again if you want to delete the element, deletion always it will perform from the front position, so that the front value will, the front element will be deleted and the front value will be incremented by 1, so that front equal to 2 and rear equal to 3. And now if you want to insert the element, where we have to insert the element is, we have to insert the element at the front position. Why? Because here, see here it is the circular queue. When we take these as the circular queue, here it contains 4 elements and empty spaces is 2. Already 2 elements has been deleted and the empty spaces is 2. Now the front equal to 2 and rear equal to 0. Now if you want to insert the another element, here I have taken the element called as 50. Here we have to use this formula, that is rear equal to rear plus 1 modulo division n. That this is the condition. We have to use this. Here rear value is 3 plus 1 modulo division, total size is 4, that equal to 0. Now rear equal to 0, so that we have to insert the element at the rear position. That means rear equal to 0, where we can insert the element is in the 0th position we have to insert the element. What is the difference between the circular queue and the linear queue is, whereas in the circular queue, if we have deleted the elements, at that time there will be empty spaces. In that empty spaces, again here the last position will again points to the first position, so that we can insert the element from the front also. Whereas in the linear queue it is not possible. After deleting the elements, that empty spaces will be remained empty. We can't able to insert the element into that empty spaces. And deletion, Now if you want to delete the element, where it will delete the element is, now the front is 2, that is 30 will be deleted and front value will be incremented by 1. So that front will be front equal to 3 and rear equal to 0. Again, if you want to delete one more element, 40 will get deleted and now front value equal to 0 and rear value is also equal to 0. Why? Because all the elements has been deleted and we are at the beginning position, so that the front value will be 0 as well as the rear value will be also 0. Why? Because it contains only one element. Like that we can insert and delete the element from the circular queue. And see the next one, priority queue. What is meant by priority queue is, it is a queue such that each element of the queue has been assigned with the priority. That means based on the priority, we are going to assign each and every element into the queue is called as the priority queue. And how the elements will be processed means, the elements will be processed in an order by using these following rules. What are the rules is, an element of higher priority is processed before any element of the lower priority. First the higher priority element will be processed and then only it will be given processed to the lower priority element. And the next point, if two elements have same priority, at that time what will happen is, the elements which come first will be processed first. Whereas we are using the queue, whenever if more than one element is having the same priority, at that time what will happen is, the elements which come first will be processed first. Here there are different types of priority queues. One is ascending priority and another one is descending priority. We will see what is ascending priority and what is descending priority. See here, what is ascending priority is, ascending priority, it is a collection of elements into which can be inserted in any order. That means we can insert the element in any order, but deletion is possible only for the smallest element. That means it will check which element is small in the queue, and the ascending priority queue, that is here we can insert the elements in any order. We can insert the element in any order, but the deletion will be possible only for the smallest element. That means if you want to delete the element, we have to pick the smallest element, then we have to delete that element, is called as the ascending priority queue. Then descending priority queue. What is descending priority queue is, here also all the elements will be inserted in any order and deletion will be possible only to the largest element. Here we have to pick the largest element and we have to delete that element. That is about the ascending priority queue and the descending priority queue. And see the implementation techniques of priority queue. There are various ways of implementing these priority queue. What are these? First one, using a simple linear array, and the second one is using multi-queue implementation. We will see the first one, priority queue using an array. Here whenever we are using the arrays, the array will maintain and it will hold the items with their priority values. Here the items with higher priority values are of smaller value. That is, for example, if we have entered the two elements called as 10 and 20, 10 will be having the higher priority, so that 10 will be processed first, and 20 is the lower priority, so that the 20 will be processed next. And it is our aim is to insert the elements in any fashion. That is, already we have seen in priority queue and the descending priority queue. In an ascending and descending, the items can be inserted in any order, but we have to remove the smallest element in this arrays. That is, the deletion operation will be performed in either of the two ways. Here they have given the different ways to delete the elements. First one, see the first see the first method. What is the first method is starting from the front. Whenever we are traversing the elements from the front, we have to traverse the array for an element of the highest priority and then delete this element from the queue. See here, I have taken one example. Here I have given the size as n. What is the n value is 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here totally I have entered 6 elements, 20, 30, 10, 5, 40 and 60. From this, which element is having the higher priority is the element 5, which is located in the third position, will be having the highest priority. Why? Because the element which is the smallest item here, first the traversing will be starts from the 20, that is the starting element, and all the remaining elements will be compared with the smallest element is to be find out. That means each and every time from the first element we have to compare with each and every element and we have to find the smallest element. And after finding the smallest element, in this example the smallest element is 5, so that what will happen is 5 will be deleted, which is located in the third position of array, and then the next priority will be given to the fourth and the fifth positions, and that will be shifted one to the left side. That means once the 5 which is located in the third position has been deleted, automatically the third and fourth positions will be shifted to left side. That means by subtracting one, it will be shifted to the left side. And see the next method, that is the second way. In this way, first we have to sort the inserted elements in an ascending order. That means we have to sort the elements in an ascending order, so that what will happen is the first element of the queue will be the smallest element. So that what we can do is we can directly delete the element from the queue. When we delete the first element from the queue, what will happen is the highest priority element is deleted from the queue. And see this example, it is the linear queue and I have taken the same example. Here I have entered the 6 elements, that is 20, 30, 10, 5, 40 and 60. In the first method, we have compared each and every element with the other element and we have found the smallest element and we have deleted. Whereas in this method, first we are sorting all the array elements. After sorting all the array elements, here automatically we are sorting the elements in an ascending order. Whenever we are sorting the elements in an ascending order, the smallest element will be come first, then directly we are deleting the front element. Then see the next one, multi-queue implementation. This is the second point from this priority queue. Multi-queue implementation. What is this multi-queue implementation is? Multi-queue implementation of a priority queue is similar to that of linear array implementation, and except that the 3 points they have given, except these points. What are these points is, first one, a separate queue for each level of priority has to be maintained. That means whenever we are inserting the element based on the priority levels, each and for each and every level of priority we have to maintain the separate queue, and each such queues represents the circular array. Each and every separate queue that we have defined in separate levels will be represented in the circular queue. So that what will happen is the number of priority levels used is equal to the number of queues to be used. That means we are going to define the priority levels. That means for each and every level of priority we are using the separate queue. So that what will happen is priority levels used will be equal to the number of queues to be used. And see the second point, instead of a single dimensional array, a two-dimensional array is to be used to represent the priority queue with rows representing the queue and column representing the items. Here we are instead of single dimensional array, here we are using the two-dimensional array. Whereas in this priority queue, rows will be represented as queues, that is q1, q2, q3, and the columns will be represented with the items. And see the third one, here two linear arrays, that is the front and rear ought to be maintained. It is maintained for storing the front and rear elements of the queue. See this example here with the 3 priorities and each element with maximum elements as 5. See here priority numbers. How many number of priorities here I have defined is, here I have given minimum 3 priority levels, and in this the elements, the maximum number of elements I have defined as 5, so that in the 3 priority levels, in each and every priority we are going to define the 5 number of elements. See here here we are defining the front and the rear position. This is the first priority. In the first priority, the first element has to be located in the second position, and the rear position element has to be defined in the third position. See here, in the second position this is the front, and in the third position 20 is the element, this is the rear. And see the second one, this is the second priority level. In the second priority level, the front value we have defined as 5 and the rear position is 1, so that the front value is 40 and the rear value is 30. And see the third one, third priority level. In this third priority level, the front value I have defined as 3 and the rear value is 5, so that in the third position the front value 50 is assigned, and in the fifth position the value, that is the rear value 70 is assigned. And see in this example 3 queues are maintained and each queue can hold up to maximum number of elements. See here, first Q1 with priority 1, that is 10 and 20 here already explained. 10th is the item, front item of Q1 is front of 1 equal to 2 and rear item of Q1 is rear of 1 equal to 3. And Q2 with priority 2, that is the rear of 2 equal to 1, front of 2, that is this is the priority 1, priority 2, this is the priorities, and the front item of Q2 is 5 and the rear item of Q2 is 1, which is located in the first position. And see the next one, Q3, that is Q3 with priority 3. Here the front item of Q3 is front of 3 in the third position we have inserted, and rear item of Q3 in the rear position we have inserted in the fifth position. And now if you want to insert the elements into the priority queue, here I am inserting the element called as 25 with priority 1. Here whenever if you want to insert the element, here insertion operation to be performed on a priority queue, so that the insertion will be take place only at the rear end of the specified queue. Here the element that I have given as 25, that will be inserted at the rear end of the first queue. Rear end of the first queue means already we have seen the front is in the second position and the rear value is in the third position, 25. Whenever we have defined the element as 25, in the first priority, here I have given the priority called as 1. In the first priority number, the element has to be inserted. Where it will insert the element means the element will be inserted at the rear position only, so that before here 3 is the rear position, automatically it will get incremented, and in the fourth position 25 element will be inserted. This is the insertion. And again if you want to insert the element, another element, for example 5 into the second priority, that is for example if you want to insert the element in the second position of the second priority, here we can insert the element in the second position. And see the deletion. If you want to perform the deletion operation on a priority queue, first the elements which is having the higher priority and which is at the front end will be deleted first, so that see here the element 10 from Q1 will be deleted first, as it is having the higher priority level. In the priority 1 we have selected the priority 1, so that the first element In the first priority, that is 10, the 10 will be deleted first. And here see this insertion procedure and the deletion procedure, how the insertion will be happen and how the deletion will be happen. Here, to insert an element in the priority queue, what we have to do is we must specify the priority and also the item to be inserted. That means in which priority and what is the item to be inserted, we have to specify first. And if the queue of given priority is full, at that time what will happen is then the queue is overflow. Then if it is not full, then what we can do is we can insert the element at the rear end of the priority queue. See here, see the steps. This is the algorithm and we can call it as procedure. Here, see the first one, first step. If rear of priority equal to n minus 1, that is, for example, here if it contains 10, 20 and I have inserted only 2 elements and the size is 4. This is the front and this is the rear. Here I have given the sizes 4 and it will check the condition. If priority, rear of priority equal to n minus 1, the total size is 4 minus 1, that equal to 3. Here the rear value is not 3, it is only 2, that is it is in the second position and the remaining 2 is empty. So that what we can do is we can insert the elements into the rear position of the queue. Whereas here if it contains the 4 elements and if it is the rear position, here it will check priority minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, the elements is there in the third position, so that the queue is overflow. Otherwise rear of priority equal to rear of priority plus 1. Before I said I have inserted only 2 elements, this is the rear. Rear of priority equal to rear of priority plus 1. Here I have taken only a linear queue. And if it is the priority, here we have to give, what we have to give is we have to give the priority number as well as we have to give the item in which priority it has to be inserted. After incrementing the rear value, queue of priority and as well as rear of priority equal to item. That means it has to take the queue number as well as it has to take the rear priority. That means in which position, in which rear end it has to insert the element. That is the algorithm for insertion. And see the algorithm for deletion. If you want to delete an element in the priority queue, what we have to do, we have to check whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, what will happen is we can't able to delete the element from the queue. If the queue is not empty, we have to scan the non-empty queue and we have to delete the front element of that queue. Here, see the steps. You have to scan all the queues till non-empty queue is found. That means first we have to check whether it is non-empty or not. What is non-empty means it should not be empty. If the queue is empty, that is if the queue is empty, what will happen? Then the condition is underflow. That means the queue does not contains any element, so that we can't able to delete the elements. First, if you want to delete the elements from the queue, it must contains the elements. If the queue is empty, we can't able to delete the elements, so that the condition is queue underflow. And otherwise, if the queue contains the elements, then we have to delete the elements which is in the front of the first non-empty queue. That means in the first non-empty queue, you are going to delete the element in the front position. This is the insertion and deletion position of the priority queues. And in the next session, we will discuss about the dequeues. Thank you.